To this day, I've not met somebody who hated on me that was doing better. Nobody will hate on you that is below you. Hate has to come from below. It's the only way that it can go. It doesn't happen down. So when you have people in your life that are hating on you, you should feel so good in the fact that you're doing something that is making them emotionally charged enough to say something about it, and or to show their signs, their true colors of where they stand on your success. That's how you tell if someone really likes you. How do they treat you when you're winning? How do they treat you when you're losing? What do they act like? Are they quick to dismiss your success when you say, hey, I had a video go viral, or yo, I'm starting a business? How do they act? Do they support you? Because the way it works in life, typically, from my personal experience starting a fitness brand at age 18 in a small town in Wisconsin, going global, all 50 states, 20 countries, we've received some of the craziest support from people I've never met. And there are so many people that I've grown up with that I've never supported, right? They have never bought any products, not even a t-shirt, not even my book. We're gonna talk about my book today a little bit too. Talking about law number 8, which is alchemize dark fuel. This chapter is about a few different hate stories, a few different opportunities that I was able to alchemize dark fuel, and how you can do that too. So if you've ever dealt with hate, if you're dealing with it now, and or you're doing anything noteworthy in life, you're going to deal with hate. You have to. It's a prerequisite to success. No one is going to succeed without dealing with BS. And it's typically the same kind of people. I want to start this off by listing the type of people that you will deal with as haters. All right. So the first is the drive-by comment, the classic LOL, cringe, or if they're really creative, a skull emoji. No context, no weight, just digital lint floating in your notifications. You brush it off, but sometimes it still itches. I had somebody comment, "This is gay," on one of my videos recently. That's a perfect example. And of course, they were anonymous. It's always the people that they have nothing going for them. They have no followers, they have no posts. Okay, I'm just talking about social media right now. But then there's the projection special. You'll never make it. Translation, I quitted myself 5 years ago, and I need you to join me in mediocrity so I feel better about it. I'm reading you my book, by the way, if you weren't able to tell. So if you listen close enough, you can hear the cry for help between the keystrokes. Let's go. All right, next up, we got the group discount hate. These guys only talk tough in packs. Solo, their silence is a mouse. But give them 2 buddies and a bush light, and suddenly they're philosophers of failure. Pack mentality 101. Weak alone, loud together. They're not lions, they're raccoons. Bold around trash cans, gone the second the lights flip on. I'm going to share a story about this group hate in a sec. Then you've got the ghost critic. You know the type. Anonymous handles like Jimbro1974 or Hot Girl XOXO23. No posts, no face, just shadows throwing stones. If you're still hiding behind numbers in your username, I've already won. That's a good tip, guys. If you have numbers in your username on Instagram, unless your first and last name is really taken, dude, just try to do your first name underscore last name, or first name last name underscore. I understand some people have really basic names, but seriously, some people, you guys got to remove the numbers in your name. Anyways, finally is the hometown historian. This one's one of my favorites. Didn't you used to... They drag up your past like it's some kind of evidence. Didn't you faint in 4th grade? Didn't your party get busted? Yeah, and guess what? That's why I'm dangerous now. My scars got receipts. If your best ammo is my history, you're already behind because I turned that history into my fuel. Okay, so I want to share a quick story about the group hate. I'm going to share a few different examples that are literally from the book. of times when I had to deal with hate to hopefully give you guys some fuel, because there's some crazy things people will do. A lot of people do fake crap online that are not really willing to do it publicly in person. But even then, I've dealt with that kind of stuff too. Well, I had a group of guys in high school that gave me such a hard time. And I think it was because they were the losers and I was just one step above them. No offense to this group, but you'll learn why I say that in a sec. Essentially, there was this war going on where sometimes we'd prank each other's cars. And I had a pretty nice car. I had a Ford Fusion, and I was pretty big about the external validation even then. I got these nice rims on it. That was $1,000. As an 18-year-old, that was kind of a big deal. So this happened both to my dad's truck. It got pranked one time, and then this really bad time, I go outside. It's like 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, and I heard some noise outside. I go out. My car is just covered in dog crap. Dog crap all over my car. I had to go through the car wash over 10 times, and it still didn't take the smell away for months. And they did that because one of the guys, I believe they had a bunch of puppies. They bred dogs. So they had access to this huge pit of crap, right? And it was about 7 or 8 guys in this group. To this day, none of them admitted it was them, except one guy went out of his way a couple years later, was crying, felt so bad. He was willing to do a full deep clean on my car. That was really cool. Shout out to my guy. He knows who he is. And besides that one guy, that pack mentality that all of them grouped together, they had to hate on me because maybe, I'm not exactly sure what I did to really bother them, but they picked me out as a target, probably because they thought I was an easy target. That was before the fitness brand, before any kind of glow up. That pack mentality is pathetic. And if I could go back and talk to the younger version of myself in that season, I would just tell them they will not be invited to the feast when it's all said and done. The victory table, when we succeed in whatever we do, none of those guys are getting a seat. They're going to have to watch in the sidelines, and you need to win so big that they become so small that you don't even think about them anymore. Yeah, I wrote about them in the book just for the example of turning a scar into a strength, but I think a lot of people have a story of their own like that where somebody just did them really dirty. That was one example. Another example, I had it happen to me in person. I had this dude randomly, I'm walking up trying to fulfill a bunch of orders. This fricker yells, "Fuck Shane Scar." What? Dude, I think I hung out with this girl. I said it in the book. I think I hung out with this girl, and he was upset. He says, "Fuck Shane Scar." Sorry, bro. I don't know. I don't even know who he is. He said it. He slammed the door. I didn't go up to him and knock on the door and say, "Hey, who said that?" I just kept going. And I just thought about it and just said, wow. That really stung in the moment. It's fun to laugh about now, but that's when the hate actually gets to you in person, right? So that was when strength was really starting to pop off, 2021-ish. And around that same time, I was about to graduate from college, I remember, and strength was really starting to pop. We were about maybe 20, 30,000 followers. Dude, this anonymous app was blowing up my name. I was in everything. They were saying the strength boys are drinking too much chocolate milk. They're getting fat. They're saying strength ambassadors got something about small brains, or I don't know. There's so much BS. They're calling me out for being short. I'm 5'8". They're like, Shane Scar's 5'7". I'm like, oh, dude. they were coming at me for everything. So we all know about these anonymous apps, right? And in the moment, we just spun it as a fun game. I didn't talk about it in the video, but I posted them sometimes and joked about it. But if I could go back, I just wouldn't have given it as much energy. because what you feed grows. When you are dealt hatred, if you feed into it, they won. You have to not respond, no matter what anyone says or does. The best thing you can do is nothing. You just say, okay, because it only is a problem if it affects you. You have to be willing to look at a comment of what someone says or says about you and just know who you really are. Maybe they're trying to say something that is actually genuinely trying to help you, but typically it's a projection. You did or said something that upset them so much because you were a mirror for them. They're not mad at you. They're mad at how you made them feel about themselves. That's how hate works. The sooner you realize that, the more stress you can take off yourself. And I almost want more hate. I'm not saying, yo, come hate me in the comments real quick, but I'm saying I'm not doing enough if I'm not getting people agitated a little bit, right? A man who stands for everyone stands for no one. If you stand for everything, you stand for nothing. I've had to cut people off, and I got friends that are still friends with the people that cut them off. Kind of rubs me the wrong way sometimes. I'm like, dude, yeah, sure, you can be friends with everyone if you want to. I understand certain people have problems and you want to be a bystander, but if you know that someone did me dirty, why are you going to be friends with that person? That's a whole other topic for a different day. But my goal for this video and for the viewer watching you is that you have a different perspective of hate now, and you know that it's required on the journey to bettering yourself. It's totally okay. You're going to deal with it. It means you're on a path of bettering yourself, and it is the best way to turn that hate into fuel is to alchemize it, right? Tim Grover, I reached out to this guy in this season that I was starting to get some hate, and I said, hey man, so if you don't know who Tim Grover is, he is a coach. He's a trainer. He trained Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and many other athletes. This guy, I DM'd and I said, hey, I read your book, Relentless and Winning. I love them. And I'm in this season right now where I'm trying to not drink alcohol. I'm trying to focus on growing my business. Do you have any tips for me? And he got back to me within that same day. And he said, because I sent him a whole video of me. I was 21 years old. He says, the people who are drinking without you now will be toasting to your accomplishments in the future. And I will always remember that. It was one of the coolest moments. The guy who trained Michael Jordan every single day told me they will be toasting my accomplishments, those people that are currently drinking without me. And since then, I developed FONS, fear of not succeeding. Don't have FOMO, have FONS. Fear of missing out is not as bad as the fear of not succeeding. You make your goals more important than as a priority than other people's approval and or showing up to an event, a party that happens every single weekend downtown scene. Dude, it was so hard for me to get out of that downtown scene and to get out of a negative headspace. But all I had to do was realize fear of not succeeding is so much more important. You have to have big goals and recognize that you're going to deal with missing out sometimes. You're going to deal with hate and betrayals, and that means you're on the right path. If you're not facing resistance, you're not doing enough. So if you enjoy this video, I'll talk way more about this. Let me know if you guys want more about dealing with hate, because I'm like a scholar at this. But I hope that you continue to push yourself and that you find yourself in situations that you get to come back to lines of this video and recognize, hey, I'm on the right path. Proud of you guys, all the strength athletes watching this. If you want to be a part of the brand, be a part of our community, come to team meetings, see me live, get to know the brand and rep strength. Go to strength.com/athlete, link in bio. You can join the community and get to grow with us. A lot of people paving our own paths, and we have to deal with BS sometimes, but that means we're doing the right thing. All right, guys, like, subscribe, peace.